What's up, everyone? It's your girl, Miss Sophia the Diva, here to do a live review and discussion for anyone who cares to join. I will be discussing the second installment of ABC's Secrets and Lies. This is season 2, episode 1, appropriately titled The Fall. Time it just rages, love just goes in stages. Spring, winter, summer, fall. Waiting for the fall. By Maxwell. Anywho, I just thought that was an appropriate titling to go along with this. So for the season opener of this year, let's just talk about the cast real quick. We have a couple of crossovers going on in between here. If anyone's ever watched Chicago Fire, you'll know that I believe his name is Charlie Barnett, who was a candidate on Chicago Fire, as well as the dude that's playing the mystery dude, which after looking at the website for ABC Secrets and Lies, we find out that he too had been on Chicago Fire, the mystery dude that kind of pops up on the scene, and in episode 2 we see him too. But I wanted to review this one because I tweet a lot about this, and the show's writer and producer, Barbara Klingman, she actually likes some of my stuff, and so does one of the set designers. So it's pretty awesome. Like, can y'all give me a job? Okay. Like, I could be like the voice of Secrets and Lies and just talk about it. That'd be awesome. Okay, so let me see who else. Terry O'Quinn, we see. He is playing the father. I want to give it up to ABC's casting. Bravo to you all for, casting a group of people that actually look like they could all be related, and they all look like they could be biracial. Okay, that's pretty awesome, ABC. You might want to hit whoever your casting person is. Maybe they need to pooch on down there to, what is it, Lifetime? Because Lord knows they don't know how to cast nobody. Bless their hearts. Yes. Yeah, Terry O'Quinn is playing the dad. That also sexy Michael Ealy is the and he's such a sweet guy. Oh my God. I met him one night when Kevin Hart was at the what was it? The Laugh Factory. Just a cool, chill, laid back guy. We stood out waiting for our cars, just chit-chatting like it was nothing. So I was like, hey, what's up? This season opens up with a body plummeting to the ground and Michael Ealy racing down the stairs feverishly. And when he gets there, he comes to a very bloody sight. We learn that the body is none other than his wife, Kate Warner. Some kind of way she fell off the roof. We don't know if she fell, was pushed, was fighting. We don't know. All we know, she dead to the concrete. Shout out to Funky Dineva for giving me the dead too. Okay. So the look on Michael Ealy's face is in total disbelief. So by this being a murder mystery, I immediately started thinking, is that a look of total disbelief that she hit the ground while y'all were up there having a little lover squirrel? Or is it that what the hell happened? I just saw my wife's stuff missing. Where'd she go? So a group of people come running out to the scene and everyone's in shock and disbelief. We learn later on in this episode that it's none other than his entire family. Because when this white man says to him, is there anything I can do for you, son? I was like, oh, hey, Mr. Drummond. Okay, so, I was like, but then we find out that is actually his dad. Like, he's a white male in Charlotte, North Carolina, that raised 3 beautiful black children, whose mother, we later learn in this episode, is like totally MIA. Well, the question now is, did she jump or did she push? Then a dark shadow comes. Lord, none other than Detective Andrea Cornell. How does she even still have a job? She's always, I don't know, she breaks protocol. She believes in getting her man by any means necessary. Monica, that's a good question. Thanks for joining the conversation. My friend who watches the Cornell Confidential, I was trying to find it on their website. I couldn't find them. I have to figure that out. But they said that there's hints that she's in like some drug, alcohol, mental institution. I kind of figured either she was in prison or she was in the crazy house. I didn't know which one it was, So that's why I don't know what she did to them, because later on in the episode we see don't nobody care about their damn mama, okay? So I'm trying to figure out, and then I was wondering, here's the other thing, the reason why I said that we've seen Terry O'Quinn before. I personally, I don't know why it is, I will watch some dark things, but I used to enjoy Park Avenue, what is it, 666 Park Avenue, and that was the show with Terry O'Quinn, and his wife was Vanessa Williams, the former Miss America. Then in the crowd, I hope everyone was paying attention to this, there were two people I was suspicious about in the crowd. Number one, some dude that had on a hideous outfit. It was a sports jacket that looked like he had gotten it from like the Salvation Army, and it was from the 70s, and a plaid shirt. I said, he needs me to be his stylist. He need help. Yes. And then you had some guy that was in like a black shirt with this blonde spike hair kind of creeping around. I said, okay, they look suspicious. Detective Andrea Cornell, she don't give a damn about how anybody feel. She fussing at the officers on the scene, talking about, why y'all let him contaminate my crime scene? Well, cameras are out. The one black officer, I bet in his mind, he was like, Black Lives Matter. So people got cameras out. So I don't want nobody, to see that. Us roughing up the grieving husband. And she was like, well, I hope the roof is secure at least. And they were like, yeah, it's secure. And then she gonna come up to him trying to be sweet. I was like, even your niceties are cold. Okay. She was like, I'm so sorry for your loss, but if you could please just release my victim. And he looked at her, he was like, this is my wife. Because in this scene, he's cradling her, blood is oozing out everywhere. I'm just like, what the hell? But I understand he's having a loss, and so she's like, we can all have a discussion in the lobby. And so they go in the lobby. There's a girl in a green dress who we later learn is Eric Warner, who is played by Michael Ealy's sister. And she's in the green dress. This blonde chick tries to comfort her, and she's like, get the hell off of me. Get away from me. And I was like, okay, girl, she don't like you, and so she don't want you to touch her, so get away from her. And so we have a flashback during this time. They're at the party. Michael Ealy walks in with his wife. Everyone's happy. Pop bottle champagne. Their dad greets them. He tells him he needs to loosen up. You don't have to make your speech right now. Because what's going on is that his father has some sort of private equity firm. And dad's decided, hey, I want to retire. So I'm going to pass it on to my most responsible child. And that would be Eric. Because he got his stuff together. And meanwhile, your brother over there getting wasted. He popping bottles with some blonde, which we find out later on is his wife. And there's something up with her. Her name is Melanie, but something's up with her. They get there. Before that, there is a flashback scene where we find out, I think if I've got this in the right order, there is a flashback scene where Kate Warner, the woman who is now deceased and dead to the concrete, is having an EP test moment. EBT, what is it? EPT test? I don't know what it was, an EPT test, whatever. Y'all, I don't know about that. I ain't never been pregnant. I ain't got no kids. Anyway, a pregnancy test. Let's just say it didn't come from the 99-cent store. She looked troubled by seeing the results of this test. And Michael Ealy's like, oh, I know. And he's like, I'm the man. I was like, oh, that's so cute. He's the man. He made a baby. But honey, you ain't no man until you done pushed one out, from what I understand. I don't know. I've heard some things in the maternity ward that made me say, okay, I don't think I want to be a mama. I love kids, but can I have somebody to have them for me? That when I get some coins, I might have some, hire somebody to have some kids for me, because I'm almost 40. Cornell is up to no good as usual, asking her usual sinister questions, really trying to pick at everybody. And so she up there talking about, had there been any problems in the marriage? I mean, and he was like, so are you asking if Kate jumped? And he was like, she wouldn't have, because she was pregnant. And everybody was like, oh, damn. And did you see the look on the daddy's face? His daddy's face. I was like, hell, are you the father? Because, see, I was suspicious. If you don't look that excited about being pregnant, there's one or two things going on. Number one, I'm going to mention right here. Your husband is not the father of that child. We are having a Maury Povich moment. We might need to go ask Maury. Or number two, you are bothered because something in your past makes you not want to have kids. Now keep that in mind, because later on in this review, we're going to talk about why she might have been troubled by that. So at this point during the line of questioning, that's when his sister, who turns out is an attorney, she's a public defender. Shout out to all the public defenders out there, anyone working for as a government attorney. You're doing the damn thing. She was like, okay, that's it. You can't be talking to my brother. I need for you to back and give my family 50 feet because your reputation precedes you. I know exactly who you are, what you about, and you always up to no good. So I'm good. Back up. And so Cornell was like, she was like, okay. So that's when Amanda tells them that, this woman locks up innocent people by any means necessary. Anytime the wife dies, the husband is always the suspect in the murder. And so whenever you talk to her, Eric, don't ever talk to her by yourself. Of course, throughout the episode, we see that he is not heeding any of his sister's advice, but that's neither here nor there. And then, excuse me, when they get ready to leave the office, they all end up in the elevator with Detective Cornell and her crew. Patrick is drunk out his mind. He has no filter whatsoever. So as Detective Cornell is taking off her gloves, he was like, no glove, no love, detective. And I was like, honey, she don't even know what a glove is or what it means. Because the way she act, I swear she need a man, a woman, or a toy. I'm telling you, she is too uptight and too aggressive. I'm like, girl, get you a man or something. Maybe you need to call somebody. Go down there to Vegas and hire you somebody to get out all that stress that's all built up inside of you. Anyway, which, by the way, let's just give it up. Juliette Lewis plays this role so well until we hate her. She's almost like a Holly. It's awesome. We go have a flashback, and this is where we learn that Melanie is Patrick's wife, and this heifer she want money. They're having a Thanksgiving family dinner where everyone has cooked and done their part, and she like, I don't understand why y'all rich and y'all don't have help. And like the dad was like, because I want my kids to be taught responsibility, basically. And I wanted to say, yeah, so they won't be affluenza kids because, I'm just saying, because they're rich. Even some rich black kids get off. I'm just saying. So I don't know if y'all noticed this too. And Monica, maybe you noticed it. But remember when Amanda told her father that Eric should stay the night with you, and he kind of had this look like, I don't want him to stay the night. I had somebody coming over. I was trying to get my freak on because I'm retired now. I need to Joan coming over, whoever it might be. But he was like, oh yeah, you can come stay, son. And then Amanda stays too. And I know Amanda is married because at one point in the episode, they show her husband is some sort of ER doctor. And she's telling one of her father's firm members, who I guess has a thing for her, that, my husband is busy. He works in the ER and they need him. He does meaningful work and blah, blah, blah. But I think something's up with their marriage too. So I don't know. And something's up with Amanda too, because she was having a hot flash. I was like, girl, you old enough to be going through the change already, sweating and stuff while they eating potato salad and grits. I don't know what they were eating. I'm just making it up as I go, okay? So Eric Warner, who can't seem to stay away from the office, decides, I'm going to get dressed and go down here to the office. And they're like, we're going to go with you. Father and sister join him. Cornell had already told them, don't come in the morning because we have to do some forensic testing. And the main reason why she told them that is because right when they walk up to the office, lo and behold, there is a woman in a white dress, we later see is a dummy, plummeting to her death in the same manner in which Eric's wife just died. Shocking. And he still can't believe it. He's now in shock. Andrea Cornell has really no damn couth whatsoever. She invades people's spaces. Like, for instance, she was like, well, I'm going to need to be conducting interviews of everybody in your office because almost everybody was at the party. The father was like, well, I gave people the day off whether they want to come in or not. She was like, well, you only have 9 people out. And by the way, I'm going to be using your conference room if that's okay. But I'm just like, you really didn't ask him. You kind of just told him. And then, of course, Eric, like a little puppy dog about to pee on himself, was like, I want to be interviewed first. And she was like, I really don't need your statement right now. And I'm just like, dude, calm the hell down. Listen to your sister. Don't interact with this heifer, okay? She crazy. She crazy. She ain't got no man. She ain't got no damn dog. The dog died. I bet she had a dog and the dog died. He couldn't stand it either. I'm just saying. To me personally, my theory about Eric's nervous twitch and his need to confess, because confession is good for the soul, is the fact that there is some guilt there. And I'm wondering, were you up on the roof? Did you push her off? Confess, Eric. It's good for the soul. So, I mean, whether you meant to or not, it could be deemed manslaughter. Heat of passion, a crime of passion, you would probably get at the most 10 years. I don't know what Charlotte's statutes are. This is what I'm thinking. They have a flashback of their wedding. Patrick is the officiator of this wedding. They push him in the pool before he can even get through the vows, and they kissing each other. So I say, I guess, Patrick, you need only sign the wedding license, because Kate wanted it simple. And one of the things I liked about this episode is them showing Michael Ealy's character, Eric, actually completing a will before his marriage. So many of us get married and have kids and have no life estate plan. So shout out to Secrets and Lies for showing that out. As someone who daily deals in death and estates and that type of thing, I just want to shout out for that. I personally have not executed my stuff, but I will be doing that soon, okay? His homeboy, this guy that turns out to be, I think his name is Neil Oliver, who's some sort of an analyst. He's high up in the company too. Comes by to see him, ask him if he need anything. If you want to punch, kick, fight somebody, you know, I'm your man. I'm your punching bag. And his assistant tries to help him plan the wedding. And the way he said it, I was like, damn. But you know what? Here's the thing with grief. All of us handle grief differently. And unfortunately, some people have what they consider the norm form of grieving. And then you have sort of this, well, they dead and I'm going to move on. What else am I going to do? One of the managers I used to work with, she did that. Her husband died. She didn't even take the full week of bereavement. And I asked her, so what are you doing here? And she was like, well, you know, I just don't want to be home by myself. And I was like, okay, girl, whatever floats your boat. But you know, at some point, you're going to have to grieve and cry this out, okay? And that's what Eric essentially has done. So when the assistant's telling him about what she's planned for the funeral, and he's like, well, she wants to be cremated. We'll do some at the house. Let's just hurry and get this over with. I was like, damn, okay. At some point, when Cornell is done conducting the interview she wants to conduct that day, because he did talk to Neil, and Neil told him essentially all she's trying to do is establish a timeline, like where was everyone, what were you doing at the time, to figure out, you know, when did Kate go up to the roof, and who else could have possibly been up on the roof. At some point, he sees her leaving while he's talking to the assistant, so he races to talk to her and runs up to her. I'm like, what is wrong with you? Your sister told you don't talk to this woman. Do you know who Ben Crawford is? You might want to ask who Ben Crawford is. Well, that's right. You can't even ask him, because from Cornell Confidential, I understand Ben dead. They killed him in prison, even though his daughter was the one that killed the lady next door, killed her little brother, or whomever it was. I don't remember who died in Secrets and Lies season 1, but either way, he's like, I just want to let you know, I don't know what everybody's saying, but I loved my wife. And Detective Cornell just coolly as you please says, were you up on the roof at the time that your wife died? And he was like, but I loved my wife. And I'm like, fool, that's not what she asked you. She asked you, were you up on the roof? It requires a yes or no, or you need to shut the hell up. Okay? You don't want to listen to your sister. She need to get you some outside counsel. While he's in the office, he goes to Kate's office, of course, and he sees that she has a secret drawer or a locked drawer that should have been locked. We all have them. We all have them at the office. But it's been tampered with, but it doesn't look like anything's been removed. He discovers, and while talking to his sister, she was like, but Kate had a white iPad. I was with her when she bought it. He was like, I know, she's got two. Did you also know she had a P.O. box? Because a message came up saying you have a package at this P.O. box. So he's trying to figure out the code. So, we have more secrets. Kate had some secrets. So she got two iPads. She got a P.O. box. Me being me and the serial online shopper I was just like, maybe she got a box to collect her packages because maybe the packages can't come to the job. I'm just saying. And her being married, maybe she didn't want she was doing some shopping online and she just figured I'll just take it out the box and throw it in the trunk and hide it and then bring it in and act like I don't know what happened. Later on, they get a notice that the coroner's report is in. And they get there, and Detective Cornell's like, I didn't tell nobody that the report was done. Pop Warner was like, I know people. And I was like, Pop, that shit gonna come back to bite you in the ass for telling her that, because she's mad now. Monica, I don't know. That's a good question. Was the stuff planted to see what he'll do in Kate's office? Good question. We'll find out. I'm going to try to hack into that Cornell Confidential and see what else she has to disclose about this whole scenario. So they find out that, the usual, that of course she died from the fall, vertebrae broken, all of this traumatic damage done to the body. It also shows that there was a struggle that apparently ensued at the time based upon, the markings on her wrist, that type of thing. But here is the shocker, and this is where I said that, Eric Warner, did you really even know your wife? They said something, I've never heard this either, and I don't ever recall hearing that in anatomy class, but apparently when a woman has a baby, there's some sort of separation of the pelvic area. And so they were like, it shows that she had a baby. And he was like, of course she was going to have a baby. She was 8 months pregnant. She was 8 weeks pregnant. And then his sister was like, no, Eric, it means that she carried a baby to full term. And then Detective Cornell being I hate using this term for females, but she's a bitch. She really is. Did you not know that your wife had another man's baby? And Eric just looked at her like, I could kill you right now. I really could. That ends, and he's like, hell, I really didn't know that. Who the hell did I marry? Who this woman? So we have the repast. All these weird people show up to the repast. Like people they actually know, and some people they don't. The one that killed me, that was the comic relief for this episode, was the little old redheaded lady in the wheelchair. She was like, whenever Karen came by, they were like, babe, her name Kate. Kate, not Karen. Well, good. Oh, okay. Some dude. What do you say to people when people die? Hell, it's awkward for me. I'm praying for you. Just say that. This is terrible. This is horrible. Yeah, people say, and Eric is like, how much more of this can I take? This is painful. So, there's a guest at the repast that got me, was the woman with the purple scarf. Because she immediately runs up on him and starts asking, oh my God, how are her parents doing in all of this? Oh my God. He was like, her parents died before we got married, And she was like, well, were there any siblings? And I'm like, girl, are you her mama? That she didn't tell him that he had on aunt or somebody? Girl, who you? Are you the baby mama that adopted the baby she had? I want to know what's going on with you. So he gets a text from his sister, come to the playroom. So they have this huge giant playroom, which is a fabulous playroom. I was like, hey, give it up for the rich and famous. They all just kind of hiding out in there. They have to get chastised by their daddy. But then Patrick, the younger brother, brings up something. He said, okay, I'm just going to address the elephant in the room. What about mom? Now, when they mentioned her at Thanksgiving, I thought she was dead. She ain't dead. She alive. Maybe not well, but she alive. And Amanda said, I would much rather peel off my skin before I go see her. I said, well, damn, was she mama Pope? Because Olivia don't like her mama either. You don't like yours. Okay, so she was his sister's friend. Now I'm curious if she planted her. I like the sister, but maybe we shouldn't. That's my friend Monica. By the way, give it up for Monica, who is a DA, an ADA. We always think in theories. Um, but you know what, Monica? That's good. You know what? My other friend said, my friend Angie said this too. She said, I think that the family knows something that Eric doesn't know, that they're trying to keep from him, either to protect him or to protect themselves. I don't know what it is, but something's up. Like the whole family just acts strange. Like the whole, like Melanie, the sister-in-law was kind of weird to me. Patrick, why is he drinking so much? Why is he always drinking? So at this repast, after they have this daddy coming in, look, y'all get your asses out here. We got guests. I know y'all don't like this, but you know, let's just be respectful. Everybody get out. And I was like, okay, Daddy, get them information. Everybody get out the playroom. Y'all can't hide forever. Detective Cornell, disrespectful ass, manipulative, and here she come, this heifer. She interviewing guests at the daggone repast. Have you no respect for the dead and the grieving? She was talking about, well, some people that I didn't get to interview at the office, they here. And I was like, and Mr. Warner was like, Pop Warner was like, I need for you to just leave. Can you just, this is very disrespectful. And so here come Eric, once again, confession is good for the soul. I'm like, what is wrong with this dude? Like, do you not listen to your sister? Don't talk to her. Oh my God. So here he goes. He runs up to him, I want you to interview me now. I did not. Let it be known. I did not kill my wife. I was like, that's a good soundbite. I learned that on Notorious this week. That's a good soundbite to just publicly declare your innocence about killing your wife. Okay. But damn, you dealing with Detective Cornell's messy ass. And she dumb as hell because, number one, why would you ever put something out like that? Those are sealed records. Do you know what this heifer said? She said, well, what about Stephen Porter? Did you mean to kill him too? And he kind of looked like, I didn't mean to kill him. And he was like, I did 6 months in juvenile. And it was like, those records are sealed. I'm like, you should never bring that up in a public forum. And I'm thinking to myself, now that people think that the successor to the business, what kind of damage is this going to do to the business? For his father and their reputation, now that they know his son was a murderer. And the juvenile records are sealed. Are you serious? He killed someone in his youth. So here are my concluding thoughts. Honestly, with the way that Eric is acting, I think he might be guilty of something. And I think in this coming episode, which I have watched, I think I know why he might feel some type of guilt. And it comes out in episode 2. And Mama Dear Boys, the whole time in the episode, was like, boy, what the hell wrong with you? What the heck? Boy, shut up. The family doesn't seem too enthused by Patrick's choice of women. We find out in this episode that she had to sign a prenup, which is probably good because he don't seem like he in his right head space all the time anyway, and he's probably inebriated all the time. We see in the previews that Kate was being blackmailed, but blackmailed by who? What? Well, we find out in episode 2. I'm going to tell y'all that much. Blonde dude from the crowd, they show him in the previews. He's telling Eric something about, in this world, you have to assume everyone is lying. And then they flash to, like, looks like an escort service, and they flash to Melanie. I was like, was Melanie and Kate sex workers? Was Amanda a sex worker? Girl, why you? I don't know. These are just theories. So it just looks like Kate might have been an escort or a call girl back in the day. We see in the previews Detective Cornell getting read the riot act by her superior, telling her she broke protocol and maybe even the law. And then she starts crying about, they're always just getting in my way. And I'm just like, girl, you need to get a new job. I don't know. You need a new job. I don't know what to tell you. I don't understand why Eric just won't shut the hell up and listen to his attorney. Amanda, just make him a list of 3 attorneys and just tell him to get it popping with them. Who is the father of Kate Warner's baby? that she was carrying. The way she acted when she saw them lines on that pregnancy stick looked suspect. What's up with Pop Warner? What's he hiding? He looked suspect as hell when they said she was pregnant and had had a baby, okay? Secrets become lies, and lies become secrets. Baby, the question we are all left with is, who was Kate Warner? Because apparently Eric didn't know who the hell he had married. She has 2 different iPads and a P.O. box. What's up with that? And the other question is, what happened to Kate Warner's baby? Was it stillborn? Was it put up for adoption? Is the child deceased? Are we having an American Horror Story moment where Lee, Angela Bassett's character, had a daughter that died at 4? We don't know. Either way, that's all I've got for this episode. Comment down below. Let me know what you think about Secrets and Lies. Again, shout out to Barbara Klingman, who is the executive producer and writer, for always liking my tweets. It is a pleasure to enjoy your work, ma'am. Have a good night, and I'll be back with episode 2 shortly.